I don't do lanes, little chains. I done swerved in a new lane. Dang it, the good do things. I came up, who I was down with. You change up, stay far from around me. I came up, who I was down with. You change up, stay far from around me. Same squad. Drop top, coupe, Dodge raindrops. Big bag plays on FaceTime. Squad ain't with me, then it ain't right.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the North.
All right, Coach. EA National Football League is getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season. Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. So here are the Steelers now to take over for the first time. And they will be led out by their 6'6" quarterback.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Pretty much unreal, not just in terms of yardage, Charles, but also throw in the 3 touchdowns as well.
When you put the whole package together, I can make you a pretty good guarantee right now. He's going to see a few more people in the box every time he lines up.
Yeah, I don't think that the defense has any choice. They've got to stop him. Can't let a repeat performance like that.
Agreed.
And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
They go play action here on first down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A very solid gain of 27. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how are you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
They'll look to throw. That's complete right around the 8. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, he'll have to be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
Now let's go.
He'll get it up the middle, and he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A great effort there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Steelers take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback.
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering some snacks.
I was just going to say.
That's where I go.
A good pickup there, a 22.
Defense gives up a touchdown the opening drive. Offense, you got to want to get out there and get those points back right now.
And that's a sharp throw there to get this drive off to a good start. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Wells. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A first opportunity upcoming in the red zone for the Saints. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Saints are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Extra point right down the middle. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, a 22. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. We should mention, to go along with a great game he had last week, he was rightfully named AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And he shares that with his offensive line, the tight end, his fullback. He's looking for more and more of that in this game.
And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. A look now at the defensive starters for the Saints. They were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
Yeah, they pitched a shutout in that game, didn't they? And those don't come around all that often in the NFL. The ability to keep someone out of the end zone and also from kicking one through the post. Well done.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a good gain of 11, sets them up 1st and goal. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. A great effort there with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Steelers are able to strike for 6.
And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized it.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
Now a play fake here on first down. He'll find his man on the comeback route, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
The numbers for him from a week ago. 5 catches, 76 yards, and a touchdown.
Better tighten up the coverage if you expect to slow this guy down because if he gets going, he'll eat you up.
And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Now the starting lineup here defensively for Pittsburgh. This unit 3rd best in the NFL in stopping the run.
Now if they could just get their pass defense in line, this unit would be really, really strong. And remember the conversation with the defensive coordinator? He wants them to rush the passer better. He wants to see the quarterback on the ground. They've got to create some sacks.
And he said it starts early and often. We'll see if they can get to him.
Now that's absolutely frustrating for a defender. Had a chance to get him on the ground before he got to the sideline, but what great vision and understanding where he is on the field as he headed for the marker and picked up the first down.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one goes for 24 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
All right, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field.
And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Give him 8 on the play, and just like that, it's 3rd down. He's fresh off that 3-touchdown performance last week that got him AFC Offensive Player of the Week, so you know that he was already on their radar. Now he's maybe even a bigger plane on their radar.
Bigger plane. I mean, he is the big dot on that screen that they're looking at and saying, how in the heck do we stop him? They're going to try a bunch of different things, different people covering him, but right now he's locked in and is in sync with his quarterback.
A great return there of 22 yards. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Set. 3-19.
And on the ground they go with a running back. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down.
Well, how many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice game.
Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. On 1st down, they'll run it on the draw play. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. What a methodical drive this is turning out to be. That time 9 yards, and the sticks move again.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. As his guys are in for 6. And the Saints are able to cash in for 6. Sometimes those tight ends are a mismatch. They found the mismatch there.
And that's exactly why you want to draw up those types of plays, because coverage is just going to go to the natural guys, the guys that make the big plays on the outside. But if you work your tight end into it, that's a tough one for a defense to handle.
Tough, they couldn't handle it. No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for, and this touchdown will count. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win 1st down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on 1st down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating 1st downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks, because then the defense has the advantage. I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches. And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
You talked about the need for them to establish the run early. They've been able to do that here in the first half.
And that means that the whole offense has adopted that attitude and that persona. We're going to take care of this young quarterback. Let's all get together and run it and take the pressure off.
And they move this all the way down to the 9. A very solid gain of 27.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness.
And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, it took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
He'll get it up the middle. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. A great play there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Steelers are able to strike for 6. And he'll bang that one through. And this is becoming quite the half he's had here.
Remember in our pregame meetings, they talked about wanting to run the football and staying with it? Well, when you're scoring this many touchdowns, there's no reason to go away from it, is there? They're off to a fantastic start. They hope it continues.
3 already for him. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They have to be pleased with the way that they moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They're starting to pull away with this one. Early on that first quarter, they didn't look so great offensively. What has changed?
Sometimes it's just a matter of doing what you plan to do better. Sometimes you just put that all together and you execute. Other times it's just in a simple adjustment in your game plan, finding a spot that maybe was a little weaker than maybe you thought, and going to that. So many different things, so many different ways, but right now, you got to like what they're doing. They have put distance between themselves and their opponent.
Looking to add on here in the second quarter. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is. to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did incompletions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
The Steelers send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the second time. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but bottom line, his team's losing. They got to fix something.
And it starts with him. He has to keep that little quarterback strut going right now to make sure this team sees him as confident. Continue to try and up his game. But just let them know, hey, if I'm around, if I'm the one calling signals and throwing the football, just follow me, we'll get there. Sometimes that will do more to elevate a team than anything else.
See if he has that confidence. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. So we reach halftime here in the Steel City with the Steelers on top as we'll head down to our the second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here on first down. And his throw is incomplete. And that right there, his first incompletion of the game, pretty remarkable.
And so let's start talking about all-time records because with that incompletion, maybe over a 2-game sequence or maybe starts a new streak now because Ryan Tannehill.
A fight for the football and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
A Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards. And they'll run it here. And able to work his way down to the 16. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
And they'll go on the ground. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage. Back to the 4-yard line. From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. Able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. In for the score. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead.
A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down.
You know they wanted, you know they expected. They needed him to be sharp coming out after the half. Unfortunately, he's missed his first 3 throws. I wonder if he got out late and missed his warm-up time.
The whole team did come out a little bit later than usual. I don't know, maybe there's something to that.
Must have been a heck of a halftime speech.
Yeah, maybe just trying to rally the troops back from this deficit. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. They'll begin the drive with Collins. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a 1st down.
We just saw what a lot of teams call a heavy set. 3 tight ends in the game. That signifies they want to run the football. Yeah, occasionally they'll play action and throw it, but most of the time, those guys on the field means strength, power, run the ball behind them. And now what a lot of teams are doing is they're taking an extra offensive tackle and putting him in a tight end number to give them even more blocking power. And we just saw it on that play.
On 2nd down, Collins. And a loose football. The Saints say they have it, and they do.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fun.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
He'll drop to throw. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time. Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
3-19.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's going to get the 1st down as they bring him down at the 23. Quick slant there. Gets him the 1st down. 6 yards on the play.
3rd and 4 is always a tough call. Maybe a little too long to run for it, but not too long to hit him on the clip.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down at the 18. A 4-yard pickup. That gets him going forward, but still 15 yards left on third down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
The give to the fullback on the dive. A gain of 3, second down.
A good solid game there on first down, but the defense has to be happy they didn't let it pop for anything bigger.
Now let's go. Blue,
He'll look to throw. Green's got it over the middle. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Here's a first down run with Collins. Got some real estate inside the 30. And he'll be taken down at the 26. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Now a give to Collins. And it's a fumble. And I think the offense got it back. They did. Inside the 10-yard line, they avoid disaster.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. That's good for a gain of 6, second and goal.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Trying to punch it in with Collins. And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more...
And Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Hurry up, here we go.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Saints who hold the football, but they're trailing as we begin the fourth quarter of play. They'll look to throw now on first down. And just as you called it after the earlier sack, they set up the screen. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll look to throw here, and he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. The reception good for 7. It's third down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right? And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot has been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on third down, didn't they? They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut. So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down. And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line. Well, a spotlight hit him once already tonight as he got into the end zone. He was trying to make it a double spotlight, wasn't he? But credit the defense, bottling him up, not letting him get in for the second score there. He'll get it up the middle. And he'll barrel his way into the end zone for a Saint touchdown. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Saints make some inroads here to that deficit. Point after, right down the middle. I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you? That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right? If they're smart, they do. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming. Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. First quarter, Charles, you really emphasized the importance of winning the turnover battle as a visiting team, as an underdog. They haven't forced a single turnover in this game. And right now they're losing, so no turnovers might lead to no victory. Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home. And able to find Green. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
And he's taken down here by the Saints.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack.
Here we go now.
Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Sideline throw. It's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon. But with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
Now let's go.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards. Decent start to the drive there. Of course, they need the touchdown, 2-point conversion, and a field goal.
Yeah, those guys are into it. How about the guys on the sidelines? You see the coaches signaling, all the personnel groups up on the sideline, ready to go in and out of the game. They've got to condense their time now in order to try and get back into it.
And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game. Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Throw left side complete. It's George. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. Back to throw. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
Looking to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's George. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll set up to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Ramsey. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. That good for 6 as they keep this drive right on rolling. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll make it second down. They're going to look to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And now a fumble. The ball's out, and it looks like Steeler football. It is.
Well, that drive wasn't a case of wanting to put points on the board. It was needing to, having to, and they didn't get it done.
Yeah, didn't get it done, and now you look at the situation and the point differential, 2 scores, pretty much game, set, match.
How about the takeaway, though, huh? How about those defensive guys?
And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. Now the Saints will use their third and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. And the knee is taken for the Steelers out of the victory formation. They'll go ahead and take the knee here, and the unbeaten season will continue. The Steelers send out their punter now, standing just about on his own goal line. And taken right at the 35. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it. And they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.
So for the Steelers, they remain as hot as anyone, 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Denver Broncos. Meanwhile, for the Saints, the loss will drop them to 4.